Good afternoon. Welcome to the Student Council debates for the 2018-2019 Student Council. It's nice to have you all here, and for the viewers at home, thank you for joining us. I would like to remind everyone that in these debates, each candidate will have 2 minutes to speak. After the 2 minutes have elapsed, we'll start to let them know that their time has run out. I would like to remind all candidates and those watching that the responsibilities of the Vice President include serving as the President in the event that the President cannot attend, plan and coordinate all dances, plan and coordinate all pep rallies, plan and coordinate all intramurals, and assist the President in all duties. Now, the candidates from my right to the left are Tico Arizosa.
Thank you everybody for coming today, whoever's watching it at home, in homeroom, thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy the debate.
Manny Becerra.
Thank you for everyone who's here today and for watching on WBLN.
Mr. Danny Esteban.
Thanks everybody for watching, and first I want to congratulate all three other candidates that I got the opportunity to play at least 1 year of football with, and I know these guys like if they're my brothers, and there's no better representation of Belen than these three guys. Thank you.
And Mr. Nico Patricios.
Thank you, Danny, for that nice announcement. I just want to thank everyone for coming out here and watching.
Okay, so now from our right to our left, we'll begin with each candidate's opening statements. Tico, you have the floor.
Good afternoon, and thank you everyone for coming to today's debate. My name is Alberto Arizosa, better known as Tico to most of you students. I am very proud to be up here amongst these three guys. My father was vice president of his class of '84, and if there's one thing he's always told me, is it was one of the best experiences of his life to be a part of it. To have the opportunity to serve the school and the students as vice president is something I've been wanting to do ever since I came to Belen. Donald Trump ran on the slogan, "Make America Great Again," for his campaign for the United States. Thankfully for us, Belen is already a great place. What I'm here to do is to make Belen that much better. As vice president, I have many ideas that I believe will help the students and the administration to see each other in a better light. Number one, I want to put a suggestion box in each and every homeroom. That way, all the students can write their suggestions and I can take them out to the administration, because I want every student to be happy before I am. I want to make sure every grade has a class trip. Why do you have to wait to be in 8th grade or senior year to be able to have a fun experience? It doesn't have to be a class trip to Universal or anything like that. It could be something local, just like Sky Zone, something that simple. But so the students can enjoy and have fun together as a class. I will try my best to have ice cream bar in the cafeteria every Friday. I will talk to the cafeteria staff because it's something that the students love greatly, and it'll be a great experience for them. Every Friday, I want to bring a vendor to Belen. That way, students can have a snack, whether it be after school or during lunch. As vice president, my main duties are to plan and coordinate the dances, pep rallies, and intramurals. In other words, I am your social coordinator. I want to make sure that these events are going to be the best events that you will have in Belen Jesuit, in your lifetime at Belen Jesuit. Thank you very much, and remember to vote for Tico for VP. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Tico. Now we'll be hearing from Manny Becerra.
Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for watching. Some of the things that I would like to do as VP is, well, just make Belen more fun, because we're here more time than we are at home. We're here from 8 in the morning till 3 p.m., and some of us stay even longer. So one of the things I want to do while we're here is split up the pep rallies to make them more fun. I want to split up middle school pep rallies and high school pep rallies so that we can put them back into the gym, because the reason why we don't have it right now is because our school's too big to put everyone into the gym. Another idea I will have is to put charging stations around the school for kids who run out of battery, or for kids who overuse their iPad throughout the day, watching videos the entire day. Another idea I have, similar to Tico's, is class trips. They would, like he said, would be local trips. You couldn't go far. And my number one priority in my entire campaign, my first thing I want to do is get polls for lunch. I want to have a month before voting for what you want for lunch. Now, we can't do this every single day because that'd be unrealistic. You could vote for what you want once a week. So let's say you want chicken patty on Fridays, chicken patty Fridays, once a week, every month. And as we keep doing this, we'd expand to twice a week, to 3 times a week, and by the end of the school year, full every day of the week. Now, thank you for listening, and I hope we have a great year next year.
Thank you, Mr. Becerra. Now we'll be moving on to Mr. Danny Esteban.
Good afternoon. My name is Danny Esteban, and I'm running for Student Council Vice President. So I remember coming here in 6th grade, and every single person in every single grade, you always hear the same thing. These people need to change Belen. There's something that needs to change with Belen. And I thought the same way up until this year when I thought to myself, why can't I be the one to make this change? So that's what I'm up here trying to succeed at, to make a change. The first thing I want to bring to Belen is open up the Beyond Belen database, which is basically an alumni mentorship program for us, our students, to think about the future. So a lot of times we go into high school and you go into college and you don't really know what you want to do. What this is going to do for us is open up from freshman year all the way to senior year to be able to, team up with an alumni, and he's going to mentor you your way throughout high school, throughout college, possible internships, and even a possible future job. Another thing I would like to bring to Belen is Water Day, where we're mixing fun with community service. So there's a foundation by the name of Water Wells for Africa, and Water Wells for Africa requires you to donate $8,000 to build a well for Africa for those less fortunate. Now, if you are able to fundraise this money, which I plan on us being able to do within a month of fundraising, then whatever money we have left over from the fundraising, I'd like to get slip and slides, water balloons, bounce houses, kayak races, and all of this was approved by Mr. Jordan. Another similar thing all 3 of us have is, all 4 of us, is class trips. Class trips is something that we've been trying to succeed in getting into Belen since I've been here for the past 6 years, and I truly believe that all 4 of us will succeed in getting that done. So with that being said, thank you for listening, thanks for watching, and vote Danny for VP.
Thank you, Mr. Esteban. Now we'll be moving on to Mr. Nico Patricios.
Good afternoon, Belen family. My name is Nicolas Patricios, and I'm running to be your Student Council Vice President. I'm a Belen lifer. I've been here since 6th grade. I've been on countless activities, from the Belen lock-in to the Belen Club versus Columbus games. I've also been involved in so many sports and activities, such as the basketball team, the varsity track team, and football team. A couple ideas of mine have been to bring the pep rallies back inside to the gym. That would involve splitting it up because it is a fire hazard to have everyone in there. Another thing, I have a brother in ninth grade, and I have friends throughout multiple grades. And the thing that I think that sets me apart is that I know the perspectives of the kids that are in other grades, and I can accomplish those things that they want. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Patricios. Now we'll be moving on to the question portion. So the first question is posed to all of you. As Vice President, you're in reality the spirit guy. What are your plans for raising school spirit in new ways that we already don't have in place? Starting with Tico, the floor is yours.
Well, as most people have seen me at certain sports events, I'm like the hype man. I'm dressed in costumes and different things, getting the crowd going. As Vice President, I want to bring that electric energy to the school for everyday activities. I think better that what I will do is, with my personality and my character as a human, I can bring that electricity to Belen, because I think that most students kind of know me as someone who likes to have fun, and it would be no better than to bring that fun to everyone, because school is a lot of work and students need to take their mind off of schoolwork at some times and just have fun and enjoy it. Belen is known for being the best educational school. Now I want to make sure that Belen is not only known to be the best educational school, but a place where kids go and have fun and they look forward to going to school. Thank you.
Now, the way I want to try to make the spirit at Belen better is I want to have more dress down days, more fun days where we can wear more relaxed clothes. Not I'll be always wearing ties and Belen Gala. I want to have polo days where kids can wear their polos for their sports or their jerseys. I want to have, let's say, opening day of basketball season, NBA jersey day. You come to school in your NBA jersey and you wear other jerseys like that. I want to have way more pep rallies because right now we only have maybe 1 a year or 2 a year. I want to have pep rallies for the Belen Columbus game because that is our rival. So I don't understand why we wouldn't have a pep rally to hype us up against our rival school. Now, another thing I would like to do is have more spirit days. I want to add more sports, more. I want to add a second like sport day, more like a field day, a second field day for the first semester. And this is how I think we can make Belen a more fun school to be at. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Becerra. Mr. Esteban.
My big plan to make school spirit more school-wide is to try and get the middle school more involved. I remember being in middle school and always kind of feeling left out, not being able to participate, watching the seniors go crazy. I want that to be able to be felt from 6th through 12th grade. I want to also get class t-shirts that you could wear maybe once a month every Friday. That's a big thing that I want to bring to Belen because you have schools all over Miami-Dade County that have this, and it really shows your school spirit and your class spirit, and it's something that brings you together as a class. I've been a somewhat captain of the football team since my junior year this past year, and I feel I'm a vocal leader, and I'm very vocal with everything I do, and I can, I help people out in a positive way. And that's what I plan on doing to bring our school spirit up, helping everybody in a positive way so everyone's always uplifted. And with that being said, I think next year will be a great one if we can get it done.
Thank you, Mr. Esteban. Now, Mr. Patricios, the floor is yours.
My first idea is to, first of all, increase the pep rallies. Having one pep rally a year is just not going to cut it. It's just too little. Another idea is splitting up between middle and high school because the middle school kids always end up getting left out, and that just can't happen. I want those middle school kids to have fun at the pep rallies, get more involved, and the same with the high school. Another idea is I've been to a couple games, and having a home game where the opposing team has more cheers than we do is just it just shouldn't happen. I'm a part of the band. I know we can get the band kids out there, the drum line, maybe expanding the cheerleading team because they're only at a couple pep rallies and stuff like that, and I think that'd be a great idea to make the school more fun. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Patricios. Now we'll be starting with Mr. Esteban. The next question is, as an executive member of Student Council, what experience do you have leading or speaking with administration?
Well, I've been part of Student Council for almost every single year here at Belen. I've been either a homeroom president or a homeroom vice president, and I have a very good relationship with the administration. My two brothers came here and graduated 2010 and 2012, so it's really like a familiar face. I've known Mr. DQ since I've been here, and even before that, since I was 8 years old, I've been around this school. So my ability to speak to the administration is one as if it's a second father, a father figure, or as a brother. And that's something, that relationship that I think we have, that they respect me just as much as I respect them. So, like I said, they're like a second father to me. Every single person here, a second mother to me. The cafeteria ladies, Richard, anything to get done with the administration, with Sage Dining, I think I'd be able to get done. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Esteban. Now, Mr. Becerra, you have the floor.
Now, one of the reasons why I'm a good communicator with the administration is, for one, I've started my own clubs and I've introduced many ideas that have been put into play. One of the sports I started 2 years ago was the water sports club, and it was a great experience, and I got to learn how to really lead kids and how to set something up and get something started. Another reason why I'm a good pick is because I'm very active in our school, so I know a lot of administrators. I'm in NHS, math, the Math Honor Society. I play basketball. I know a lot of the administrators very well because I see them day to day, and I'm at Belen more than I'm at home. And that's one of the reasons why I think I'd be a good communicator with the administration. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Becerra. Now, Mr. Arzosa, you have the floor.
Many of you may not know, but I come from a family that bleeds blue and gold. My mom is the 8th child out of 9, and all her brothers came to Belen. My grandpa came to Belen. My dad's side, his brothers came to Belen. His dad came to Belen. My brothers came to Belen. I have a brother currently in 8th grade now, and a brother that graduated last year. And I think that when I went to go make my decision about where I wanted to go, no other school was even an option. I didn't even think of another school. I knew that I wanted to come from Belen. And many people know me as someone who's vocal and likes to talk a lot. And I think I communicate well with the administration, because I like for students to be happy and everybody to get their ideas heard. So whenever I think there's something new with the school, something wrong with the school that needs to be changed in order to make students happy, I have no problem going up to talk to administration. I'm not a shy person at all, and I have a great personality, and if anybody has any questions or anything, bring them up to me, and I'll be more than happy to talk to administration. There's nothing more that I like than to talk to the person in power in order to make students happy. Some people may think that others want to run to be in power of everyone, but that's not true. I want to have the students be happy and they give me their ideas, and I have no problem bringing it up to the administration. I love talking to them, I love talking with people, I'm a social guy, and honestly, the administration is probably the best people to talk to in order to make a change in this school, so thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Zoza. Mr. Patricios.
Thank you. I think I'd be a good communicator with administration because I've had a good track record here. I'm really good academically. I've talked to Mr. Jordan and Mr. DQ on a daily basis every time I see him in the hallways, Mr. Nicosia. Another thing is that I'm also Greek, and my dad has a little festival that we put on at our church, and I'm really involved in planning it, and I've put on a lot of stuff and talked to a lot of people to get that to happen. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Patricios. Now, starting with Mr. Becerra, one thing all of you guys have in common is that you all want to have more middle school involvement. How do you plan to get the middle school more involved in the community and excited for Belen events?
Oh, I'm glad that was a question, because actually I want to make middle school a leader. I want to have someone who could represent each grade in middle school as kind of like a class president or more like a senate, so that we could really have better communications with the middle school and so that we know more what they want, because we're juniors, so we think like juniors. I want to hear what the middle school has, like what type of ideas they have. I really want to put then an overall leader of the whole entire middle school that would be voted in, kind of like how we do for our own school right now. And that's one of the ways that I'd like to better communicate with middle school. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Becerra. We'll be moving on to Mr. Esteban. So, Mr. Esteban, you have the floor.
Well, I agree with Manny there that that's something I also want to do, is have a middle school student council, somebody who can represent the middle school and come to us, but not only just represent the middle school, be in our cabinet meetings to be able to listen to their ideas and their intuition, everything that we hear. A lot of the times these middle schoolers are overlooked, yet they have great ideas. Another thing I want to do is, like I said, have the middle schoolers more involved in pep rallies, allow them to compete with other students that are in the older classes. Even though if they think it might be unfair, it's still going to be a fun experience, not only for them, but for everyone to see. One thing that I also want to bring to Belen for the middle school is the ability to communicate, the ability for them to feel involved with the senior student council, the ability for them to have the confidence that I never had to go speak to the seniors. So the suggestion box outside of the student council office is one big thing I want to bring to Belen for the middle schoolers. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Esteban. Mr. Patricios, you have the floor.
Thank you. A big part of getting the middle school more involved is to have a middle school pep rally. Those kids always feel left out of the pep rallies, and we can't have that happening. The kids want to have fun when they come here. And when they come to a pep rally, they don't want to sit and see all the high schoolers doing everything with the teachers, playing sports with them. I know those kids want to play too, and that never happens. Another thing is the student council meetings. I feel like they're just too big and no one can get a word spoken out. So maybe making them smaller meetings and stuff like that to make the middle school heard and the high school heard is a big idea of mine. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Patricios. Mr. Zoza, you have the floor.
Middle school involvement is something that I really think needs to change, and something that I want to do, similar to what Mr. Patricio said, is get the middle schoolers more involved in pep rallies. We see a lot how we have pep rallies for a big football game or a big basketball game, but these middle schoolers need to be involved too. And I want to have a pep rally for each sport, starting from 6th grade to 12th grade. I want there with everybody. I want the middle schools to be involved too. So let's say the 6th grade baseball team has a game or something, a big game. We need to get the whole school out there from 6 to 12, cheering them on, having a pep rally with their activities. And this is where my suggestion box comes in handy. Every Friday I will go around and pick up the suggestion box students want. And we need to make the pep rallies and some of the events that we do here at school, we need to make these events revolve around these middle schools and what they like. So I will say, let's say we're gonna have a pep rally. I will announce that there's gonna be a pep rally. Please write your suggestions in the box. And whatever the popular vote is on what the middle schoolers want is the activity that we will bring in, plus the activity that the high schoolers think is the best. We'll bring in their activity also, and that way we combine the two. So the sixth graders don't feel left out. Their activity is in there, and so do the high schoolers. We need the high schoolers to cheer on the middle schoolers just like the middle schoolers cheer on the high school. Everybody needs to be involved. Everybody needs to have fun. It can't be split up. I'm trying to bring unity from 6th to 12th grade, and there's no better way to do that than having everybody cheer for a sport, because everybody likes sports. Everybody likes to get involved in the hype, and that's what you want to see from middle school to high school. Everybody coming together and really cheering on their Belen pride. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Arzosa. So starting with Mr. Patricios, we'll be moving into our closing remarks.
I only have 1 year left here at Belen, and I refuse to leave this place without making a mark on this school. And honestly, all of us up here would be lying to you if we told you can get everything we want to do accomplished, because that just really cannot happen. But the one thing I can promise you guys is that I'm going to work extremely hard. I work hard in my sports, I work hard in my academics, and this is another thing I'm willing to work hard for. I know it's going to be a lot of fun next year, and I know what it takes to commit myself to Belen and make this place a better place. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Patricios. Mr. Esteban, you have the floor.
Well, I believe the ability to be great is the ability to be able to react to change, to be able to change something and really push through with it. That's something with Belen that's happened since I've been here since 6th grade. People have been able to change things and push it through till now, how we are now. So, with that being said, I believe Belen will be a greater place. Belen will be a more fun place. Belen will be a more school-wide friendly place if you vote for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Esteban. Mr. Becerra.
First off, thank you guys for watching this and caring about who runs your school. When I leave Belen, I really want to make it so that people say, wow, that year was different. Or next year, kids walk into school and they just feel like they're in a different environment and they're having more fun. Now, one of my big things is not being a liar. I don't want to have empty promises. I really want to come and do everything I can to make every single thing that's in my platform a reality and part of Belen. And that's my main priority, coming through with my promises. I don't want to say something and say I'm not going to do it, because if I don't think I'm going to do it, I won't say it. But I think if you vote Manny B for VP next year, I think it'll be a really fun year. Thank you.
Thank you, Manny. Mr. Arzosa.
First off, thank you for everybody that came. Thank you to the people who are watching this at home and for the students in their homerooms. Now, I want to make Belen better than it already is. And there's no better way to do that than getting involved. Everybody needs to be involved, and we all need to come together. Everybody's ideas will be heard, and I promise you that I will try my best to make this year, the upcoming year, the best. I only have 1 year left in Belen, but everybody currently in grades 11 to 6th grade have at least 2 years or more, and the changes that I want to make and the fun vibes that I want to bring to this school, I want them to be carried on and to be remembered. I don't want to be remembered for someone who came up and just wanted to be the vice president, to be in charge. No, I want to be remembered for someone who came in, made changes to Belen, made this a much better environment. It is a great environment already, but much more fun and much more exciting. And I want to be remembered for that. And I want the kids in the younger grades to know that I will fight for these changes, and for your suggestions and your ideas, I will fight to push them through. And I promise you that next year and the following years and all the years all the years that you still have to come in Belen will be unforgettable. There's no place like Belen, and I would love to be at the top of the senior class with the whole school looking up at me and the president as well. And I want them to remember us as the two who came in, did what they had to do, got their work done, made this a much more enjoyable place. And, you know, I love each and every one of the students, and it would be an honor to be your vice president. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Arzosa, and thank you to all of our candidates. I think there are a lot of great options, a lot to think about, a lot of great ideas. Thank you all. I think we'll be taking now a brief 5-minute intermission to switch from the vice presidential candidates to the presidential candidates. Thank you. Everyone, welcome back. Thank you to those that are still watching and those that are still here with us in person. Now, for the president, actually, I gotta find it, never mind. I would like to remind everyone that you have 2 minutes to speak. You will have 2 minutes to answer each question. You'll each be going one at a time. The order will vary. And I would like to remind everyone here and to each of the candidates that the responsibilities for president include being the chair of all meetings of student council, acting as president of the student body, together with the vice president, plan and coordinate special projects, including but not limited to 6th grade lock-in, field day, homecoming, and senior week. You are also to meet regularly with members of administration regarding student activities, concerns, and involvement, and represent the student body of Belen Jesuit at all school functions. Now, we'll begin with some opening remarks, I would like to first introduce your candidates. I'm sorry. From my right to the left, we have Mr. Joey Balerdi. Hello, Joey.
Thank you for letting me run for student body president of 2019.
Thank you, Joey. Next, we have Mr. Luciano Bietocci, Lucy B.
Happy to be here.
Thank you. And next, we have Mr. Guillermo Molero.
Thank you. Good afternoon. It's just an honor to have received the nomination, and I hope to be the president in the future and make sure we have a fun year next year.
Thank you, Mr. Molero. Next, we have Pepe Moreno.
Good afternoon. Thank you to everyone for coming, and Pepe Palante.
Okay, now we'll be moving on to our question portion, starting with Mr. Balerdi. As president, your main job is to be the liaison between students and administration. How do you plan to be able to identify and voice student opinions to the administration?
Well, first of all, I'd like to get it also with the vice president set a suggestion box, what I'd like to put in the central patio so everyone has access to it, not just the homerooms. I'd like to be able to get everyone to be able to speak to me. I think I'm very approachable. I feel like I'm a nice guy. I feel like everyone could be able to talk to me and give me ideas and suggestions on how I can give it to the administration and obviously give ideas and suggestions to the student body. I feel like if everyone gives suggestions and ideas, not just one joint thing by me and the vice president, I feel like we can make this a great year. I feel like everyone has a joint effort in making this a great year, and I feel like I can lead everyone to having a fun and great year.
Thank you, Mr. Balerdi. Next, we have Mr. Bietocci.
Yes, could you do me the favor of repeating the question, please?
Yes. As president, your main job is to be the liaison between the students and the administration. How do you plan to be able to identify and voice student opinions to the administration?
Right, so one of the things in my platform is that I want to, make an email, studentcouncil@belenjesuit.org, where anyone in the student body can send their ideas, their concerns, suggestions, comments to that email. I will personally be checking that email throughout the day, and any ideas that you guys recommend, I will take to higher order, I think the most important part is that people are heard, because I've been at Belen for 6 years now, and now I'm getting more involved than I had been in middle school, but it would have been so fun to be able to recommend things and have them been done before in my time at Belen. So I definitely want to improve upon that through this email idea.
Thank you, Mr. Bietocci. Mr. Molero, you have the floor.
Thank you. One of the most important things that I believe is necessary to have a proper student council at all is to make sure that the students can actually speak to them so that they can speak to the administration. One of the things I'm proposing is to completely change the way the student council meetings are run so that students can actually give their input, and then as president, I would immediately approach the administration with every single idea that the students propose and that the students approve. I would also like to set up suggestion boxes, put them all across the school so that students actually have a chance to give their ideas even if they aren't in student council. I believe the email is a terrific idea because some people simply don't have the time to go to a suggestion box so that they could give their ideas from anywhere. And then obviously in the halls, if anyone sees me, I'd be happy to stop, have a meeting, an interview, or just stop for a few questions. And if they have anything they'd like to propose, I'll be sure to report it to the Student Council Board and then to the administration so that we can act accordingly. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Molero. Next, we have Mr. Moreno.
I'm glad you asked that question, Felipe. This is one of the most important topics in my platform and in my campaign as a whole. Being a member of the Student Council for almost my entire Belen career, I've kind of been lacking the effectiveness of Student Council meetings in that they've been more group-centered instead of effective in the sense that we don't work, especially in specific grades. I really want to work more with homeroom vice presidents and presidents because each grade is different. Some things that the 11th graders might like, some 6th graders might have, they don't want anything to do with it. Along with this, I also want to implement a student town hall meeting each day, well, one day in the week where we put a table in the central patio and basically people come up to us and they talk to us because I think that physical communication is way more effective than technological communication. So if people come up to us in the central patio and we can talk, I think the ideas are going to be way more better talked about, and basically we're going to have a better chance of actually making them happen, and me talking with Mr. Jordan to tweak them to make them effective and appropriate. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Moreno. The next question will start with Mr. Molero. For the voters, what talents or experiences do you think set you apart from the other candidates?
All right. Well, currently I serve as the president of two honor societies, Rho Kappa and Spanish National Honor Society. I am the junior representative for NHS and have participated as a member of the leadership team in Model United Nations. I've also served, not currently, but previously I was in JV soccer. I was the captain of that team. And I think that I have the ability to lead a group of students. Another good, forgive me. A way that I could effectively communicate with the student council is using these leadership skills, being able to get a group of students together, make sure, lead the discussion and include every student involved so as to not have any skewed discussion and allow for those ideas to be effectively communicated so we can come to one group decision and put that into place.
Thank you, Mr. Molero. Next, Mr. Moreno.
So one thing I think puts me apart from the other candidates, even though all of them are really well qualified, is that I think that I'm a very social person. Every year in Belen, I've been a member of the student council president of the student council, and I've tried to run each and every year for president. I've been a member of the JV soccer team, and I've made a bunch of connections each and every year in that JV soccer team, and I'm really excited to get everyone's opinion next year because I think that I'm a very social person. I've been a devoted member of the Science National Honor Society, and the Spanish Honor Society. I've been having to work with many people in the administration in these honor societies because I'm a devoted member, and I'm ready to work for you guys to make any of your ideas possible next upcoming year. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Moreno. Next, Mr. Balerdi.
I think that I'm very well qualified for this position because I've been a leader in most of my activities. I've been a part of different after-school activities such as Cangrejos, Operation Smile, Athletes for Charity. I'm the captain of the water polo team. They're practicing out here now without me. I've been part of different soccer groups, different soccer teams. I've been playing many different sports since I was little. I think I've been doing a lot since I was little to uplift not only myself but everyone else around me to make a better community, a better society around me. And I feel like I'd be very well qualified to help and lead everyone else to a greater year, and have a much funner year. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Balerdi. Mr. Bertocci, you have the floor.
Yeah, so I've also been a homeroom president for all but 2 of my years here at Belen. I have been captain of the soccer team here at Belen and outside of Belen in clubs. Management-wise, I am actually in charge of Blue Lakes Field Day, where you have to direct the 500 volunteers that help out here every year. You know, I'm a peer minister in St. Agnes outside of school, so I have to organize retreats there and lead kids there too. But more important than all of that, more than these qualifications to lead, I've been a lifer at Belen. You know, I've been here for 6 years now, and I understand what it's like to be in 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, 9th grade, all the grades. and I know what I want from when I was in each specific grade. So I have experience in having gone through, and I'm sure they do too, but I know more or less what's required for each grade. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bertocci. Now we'll be moving on to the third question, starting with Mr. Bertocci. As student council president, one of your responsibilities is to make sure that you take charge of special programs. What programs or activities do you think you can bring to the school that are not already in place?
Right. So one of my ideas in school activities would be the creation of each grade lanyard, which basically means that at the beginning of the year, the grade gets together and they design their own lanyard to wear for the rest of the school year. This idea has been approved by the administration, and in fact, is one of the first priorities that we would do next year and work towards. I want to improve a lot in tombola, which is something that I know it's been kind of the construction that's been kind of changing it or whatnot, but I just feel like tombola was like, it had more to do when I was in 6th grade. You get me? And it might be that I'm growing up, but I would love to further improve upon that. Intramural sports, definitely want to extend that activity to other grades. I'm under the understanding that some middle school homerooms are doing it. I would like to extend that, not only during homeroom, but maybe even after school. And, you know, just improve upon the activities that we already have now and see how we can maximize all of them to be the best experience at Belen.
Thank you, Mr. Bertocci. Next, we'll be hearing from Mr. Belardi.
Thank you. Some of the ideas that I would like to bring that are not yet in the school are something I created with my father and my family. It's called the Leon Project, which gives an iPad or an iPhone something with any sort of connection to the internet so they can have something for school, obviously to the less fortunate, and we fund it with some sort of fundraiser that we do outside of school, like a walkathon, something of that sort, like any of that. And another thing I would like to bring is obviously the horrible occasion that had just happened at the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas School. I would like to get in contact with the president of that school, and I'd like to do some sort of unification between both schools, and somehow we can make both schools safer, we can make both schools more aware of the situation, both schools obviously closer, more safer for everyone, because something like that should not happen again, and everyone deserves to feel safe in school. Some other things I would like to improve on, like Betoji said, or something like Domala. I want more classes to be involved. I don't want like just to sit in the back and give pastelitos or drinks out. I want to be more involved, be in the rides, have more things to involve, just not like a dunk tank. And thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Belardi. Next, Mr. Moreno.
Personally, over the years, I think that the Student Council has done an excellent job every single year, and I look up to each and every single president that I've been at Belen, since I've been at Belen. For this very reason, I think that a few amount of programs could be created, but I think a lot of programs should be enhanced or brought back. Since I've been at Belen, one of the programs that I really liked was the Big Brother program. You know, the transition from a middle school to Belen is one of the toughest things, at least for me. And I think that with the experience and mentoring of a senior to either incoming freshmen, 8th graders, 7th graders, or 6th graders, that can make the transition much more easier. Along with this, I want to bring alumni internships to Belen. I know a lot of people, especially in the high school, are really focused on their work experience when they're older, and it's a really big and important thing for them. By bringing alumni internships, I can establish a connection between the alumni and the student body, which will be going on until, you know, many, many years. I know you middle schoolers don't really understand what I'm trying to say right now. When you get older, you guys are going to understand that work experience is really important, especially in your college applications and in your future experience as a person. When you guys come back from college, it's going to be hard for you to find a job. And you know, a lot of the alumni connections that I will help you make with alumni will help you out in the long run. Along with these two ideas, I'm going to try to enhance and make school spirit better. Some ways that I'm going to try to do this are making Snapchat and Instagram accounts run by the student council for each and every single grade. The reason I'm saying for each and every single grade and not for school-wide is because each and every single grade is different, and they like to plan different activities according to what they like. So saying that, in making Instagram and Snapchat accounts, I can help talk to grade representatives like vice presidents and presidents in each homerooms to coordinate, student sections that I know you guys all love going out to those games and screaming for your team, and also implementing activities which will help each and every single person in Belen, not just the sports guys, because that's one of the main problems that I've been looking around in Belen, especially in intramurals. Intramurals are only sports-based, which I really don't like. I think that we should always involve the chess guy, the soccer guy, the video game guy. So in doing that, I can enhance and make intramurals better by making them video game intramurals, chess intramurals, whatever you guys want. And like I said before, I'm a man of the people, so I will take your suggestions. And you guys, if you guys want Fortnite intramurals, FIFA intramurals, chess intramurals, I will make that happen for you guys. So yeah, that's basically what I want to do for next year. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Moreno. Now with Mr. Molero.
Thank you. Building upon what Pepe said, expanding intramurals is a huge priority for the possibility of our administration. Right now, it's only 6th and 7th grade homerooms going at it, and I think that we can expand that to the whole school, possibly include teachers against students, students from lower grades against students from grades further up, and get to include the whole school in the proceedings, and not only sports-based, but possibly academic intramurals, video game intramurals, and so forth. We could have a student council representative to the Alumni Association to help form alumni internships, mentorships, so the students in the high school could actually prepare for their professional careers. Another thing I really wanted to work on was, since academics at Belen can be incredibly stressful, I want to propose for the creation of the position of student test calendar observer. That would be a person in student council that is sent to the administration to review the test calendar before it is released, to make sure to smooth out if there's any inconveniences, days where there are too many tests. I know that happens a lot. Days where certain subjects conflict, where the workload would be too high on the average Belen student, on any Belen student really. There's also the possibility of having dress down days where we could, for once a month, say, wear Belen gear, gear from our favorite sports teams to get out of the uniform. And any other ideas that the students would want to propose, we'd be fully open to hearing them. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Molero. Now we'll be opening up the questions to the audience. You may ask any question directed towards one candidate or a few. We'll be passing the microphone around now with Mr. Sosa, I'm assuming. He's running over here, or walking. Thank you. So if anyone would like to ask a question, please line up here in the middle, and we'll go down the line.
Thank you very much for all of you being here and actually trying to represent our school. This question is to all candidates. My question is, usually student council faces the problem of funding, and I was wondering how all of you as candidates would actually fund the ideas that you have presented today.
A couple ideas I had is I've already been in connections with companies like Dairy Queen and Cold Stone and Pizza Hut, all those kind of companies. And I've had them come and I've told them that we'd make something here that every day or every Friday during lunch, they would come and they would get a percentage of the proceeds that would come to Belen. And every day we'd get some different kind of food based on what the student body wants. Another idea that I had is called Penny Wars, which is a friendly competition between grades where each grade gets any sort of pocket change you can find anywhere. You can find it in your pockets, in your cars, in your mom's purse, anywhere around there. And you each get a bin depending on your grade. And depending on your grade, whichever class wins the most, who has the most change and the most money by the end of a certain amount of time, wins some sort of prize that each grade will, like, the grade that wins will get themselves. And thank you.
Well, first of all, I would like to say that the student council itself already does get a budget at the beginning of the year. But to improve upon that, food trucks after school idea has been approved, and it's going to happen as soon as we're done with the construction. I want to, I'm sure you've seen lately, we've been having a lot more pizza sales during lunch and after school and whatnot, and yeah, just see more of those to more or less get money from that. But overall, I think the beauty of a lot of my ideas, at least, don't require too much funding, right?
I'd like to thank Mr. Tavares for asking that question. Funding is incredibly important in Student Council. One of the ways that we could garner funding is through kickoff dance, homecoming dance. Those obviously bring in money to Student Council in the school. Another way we could do so is through having vendors come during lunch and provide alternatives to the lunch, either during lunch and then also after school. Those could bring in money for the school. There's also a possibility of proposing for, say, flag football tournaments where certain teams have to pay money to participate, and that money goes to Student Council. And that's not only for flag football, but it could also be for basketball, chess, video games, anything the students would want to do. And the money gathered from those tournaments, not only their small prize set apart for the winners, but the rest of it goes back to Student Council. Thank you.
So first off, I'd like to thank the student for providing me with that question. I've been a member of Student Council, as I said before, for almost all my years at Belen. So I know that there is a tight budget, and sometimes it is necessary for us to do activities for funding. Obviously, I've worked before with many of the Belen moms, making different food catering stuff, like the donuts and the pizza, and those are really important. All the activities I would make for funding would be probably fun-based. One of the main ideas that I think that I have thought throughout my entire campaign is the idea of dunk tanks. Everybody loves dunk tanks. I think that if we bring the dunk tank in the central patio or we put it somewhere and we get a really loved teacher that's willing to raise money for a good cause for the Student Council, I think that there's nothing more fun or funny than dunking a teacher that everybody loves in the dunk tank. So by doing this, we would make a lot of money for Student Council, and we'd also, as Gia said, with the school dances, I think that if we put an Instagram and Snapchat account in each single grade, we can promote these school dances in a much better way, and we can get a lot of people coming. And if we get a lot of people to come, this can be a great school dance, and you guys will have the best time of your lives. Dance with Girls have, the time of your life, and we can make a lot of money for it, for activities that we're gonna plan to help you have the greatest year of your life in Belen. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Moreno. Seeing as we don't have any more times for town hall questions, we're going to be moving on to the closing statements, starting with Mr. Petocci. Seeing as he hasn't started yet, start with your closing statements.
So overall, what I want to do is make the day better for you, the Belen students. And, that all begins with the little things. One of the little things that I find more important is lunch. I want to bring back Pizza Fridays, Chicken Patty Wednesdays, food trucks after school, caterers during lunch. All good with the administration from what the talks I've had. I was talking with the administration also about the cafeteria budget. We want to maximize the amount of churrasco days that we have a year. Realistically, once a week, once a month is not happening anytime soon, but definitely, 4 or 5 times a year, maybe like when interim reports come out, fixing the drink machines that we all know serve water only most of the time is a big thing. Class unity, the lanyard idea I had earlier, the class trips. I'm not going to take you guys to Universal or anywhere crazy, but something local like Sky Zone, bowling, movie theater, we can get it passed, I'm pretty sure. And ideas such as getting a fan bus to take us to away games, not only for the varsity team, but also for other teams. So for example, if the 8th grade basketball team is playing at Epiphany, why not take a bus of 8th graders to go watch the Epiphany game? Or if the freshman team's playing Columbus, take a bus of freshmen to go watch the Columbus game. Also with the alumni program that we already have that got implemented this year, that one, when you graduate, you get like 10 opportunities that you could go to from Belen alumni. I want to extend that to do shadowing and internship opportunities while you're in school. Overall, I don't want to make any empty promises. iPad games, dress down days for fundraising, or something, of that sort. I've taken the administration, it's not going to happen. But the things I've said are going to happen. So if you want that type of stuff, you vote Luciano. Make it happen.
Thank you, Mr. Betocci. Now on to Mr. Balerdi to give him a little of the last word.
Thank you. Hello, faculty, staff, and my brothers. Thank you for allowing me to run for student body president of 2019. First off, you are probably curious as to why Aquaman is the center of my platform. Most of you may think it's because I'm the captain of the water polo team, but in reality, it is not. Let me explain. Aquaman is dedicated to doing good, and he also loves to swim. Swimming is an acronym that I would like to guide me to become the best president of Belen. First off, the letter S stands for school spirit. which in other words stands for brotherhood. Ever since I entered Belen, every single one of you has been an influence in who I am today. My grandfather, an Naco old man, went to Belen in Cuba and was very close to his brothers until the day he died and met up with them every month. Next, we have the letter W, which stands for the word work. As president of Belen, I will work hard inside and outside of Belen to reach out to different schools such as Marjorie Stoneman Douglas to work and create a student leadership committee to discuss on how to unify our school and make it safer. We will work to stop bullying and make sure that each brother has a voice in the school. After W comes I, which stands for imagination. Albert Einstein once said, "Logic will take you from A to B, but imagination will take you everywhere." For example, one time I was sitting in Mrs. Laura's classroom and a weird thought came into my mind. What if the school burned down? What would I do? In that thought process, I imagined myself single-handedly saving every last one of you, even my twin brother. In all seriousness, imagination and new ideas can help Belen even more. As your future president of Belen, I will do fundraisers, service projects, and to raise more money and awareness for our school. I will also voice the opinions for the student body to the faculty and staff. Finally, M stands for men. Here at Belen, we are men for others. My platform is centered around Aquaman, and 2019 will be the year of Aqua Men. Thank you for this opportunity, and thank you for your vote. Vote Joey Belerdi for president.
Thank you, Mr. Belerdi. Mr. Moreno, you have the floor.
So first and foremost, I want to thank every single person that's contributed to this campaign. Personally, I'd like to thank my mother, my father, and all my family that's here, and along with my campaign manager, Jose Sil, and all the members that helped me put this all together. Coming to Belen at 5 in the morning every day is not an easy job, and I really thank this guys for letting all this happen. And also, I'd like to thank these three candidates up here for bringing out the competitive side inside of me. Any of these three men would make excellent presidents, and I'm really blessed to call them my brothers. I hope that you guys have understood everything that I run in my campaign and everything that's on my platform. One thing that I really want you guys to know is that the platform is not my main priority in my campaign. This is a way that I differentiate myself from the general campaign, is that I don't put as much importance into the platform as other candidates may do. My main importance in my presidency and my campaign is not me, but it's you. So basically, as I've said before in homerooms, and you guys may have heard this, my campaign is not revolved around my ideas, but your suggestions. All the ideas on my platform were made from popular topics I've heard over my years at Belen, along with personal suggestions emailed and texted from me this entire week, as from last week when I said that I was going to run for president. So why should you vote for Pepe Moreno? 2 reasons. I'm here to help, and I'm here to listen. I want to hear all your suggestions, and I want to tweak them to make them effective and appropriate. And I know that by working with Mr. Jordan and the future dean, we're going to miss you, DQ. I know that we're going to make next year a great year, and I know that you guys will all help me do that by making your suggestions. Thank you so much for your time, and Pepe Palante.
Thank you, Mr. Moreno. Now the closer, Mr. Guillermo Ledo.
Thank you. First of all, I'd also like to thank my campaign team, particularly Diego Navarro, who's the head of our meme team. Those are incredibly important. I believe he did a very good job. What I believe is most important as being the president of Student Council is to give the students their voice back. Right now, I think the Student Council is not as effective as I would like it to be. I want the students to have more chances to give their input, to give their voice, to give their ideas so that we could actually get them put into place. And I know that you guys feel the same way. But even more important than that, I think that next year, our main goal should be to try and have fun. We should try to bring all of the innovative ideas that students suggest. We should try to have more activities for the students to participate in, more ways for us to get involved in our school that we love so much. We want to be able to have the best year we could possibly have, one we will never forget. And I think that if you elect me on Friday, we could help them keep moving forward together. Thank you.
I'd like to thank all the candidates and all the viewers at home or at homeroom for coming out here today, and a lot of great options, a lot of great ideas. I look forward to seeing how you guys vote. Thank you very much.